The price you pay for an average wife, for a woman who used to be a wife, is much greater than it has ever been. The concept of men having to work 20 times harder than their grandfathers for women that are 20% worse than their grandmothers.
Absolute facts. Absolute facts. Not only that, you have to work way harder, right? But you're getting a worse product. You're getting a worse product, man. Because here's the issue, right? The institutions that used to keep women in check are gone, okay? It used to be religion, shame, the family, and society. Religion, shame, family, the society. These four things used to keep hypergamy in check. It used to keep all the most unflattering realities about females in check, okay? If you were married as a female, well, if you stepped out on your husband, not only would your family shame you, your friends would shame you, society would shame you, so it kept women away from doing stupid shit, right? Divorce used to be embarrassing. They used to look at it like, why are you getting divorced? What's wrong with you? They would shame the woman for getting divorced. Now, obviously, in some situations where the guy's being abusive or whatever, yes, you know, divorce is warranted. But the reality is most times women divorce because they're not happy, right? Like a man will work a job he hates to support his family versus a woman will leave her happy, she'll leave her family to be happy. That's the difference. Women typically don't want to sacrifice their happiness. That's what matters to them the most. They'll destroy their family to be happy, but a man will work his ass off to keep the family happy while suffering. All of you guys, right, that have a dad. Because my dad was like this, grumpy all the time. Why was he grumpy? Because he was working all the time and supporting a family. But he understood that was his job. Growing up as a kid, my dad used to always be grumpy, man. I was always mad. Smoking cigarettes and shit, watching football, pissed. Paying bills. Everybody's had that, right? So, but women don't have that like grit and desire to like, to suffer for the family, if that makes sense. From a financial sense. They just like, for them, it's like, I'm not happy, I'm leaving. Especially now. Because now we tell women, oh, you need to be happy in your relationship. It's not about duty anymore. Marriage used to be about duty. For women, it's not like that anymore. Social media, the internet has made them think like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna have this, you know, Disney fairy tale relationship, woo, right? So sun shines and rainbows. So at the first, you know, onset of conflict in the relationship, they break up or they leave you. This is why women initiate most divorces and they initiate most breakups. If they're not happy, they leave. And they're incentivized to do so. Why? Because number one, they can replace you quickly. Society tells them to replace you quickly. And there's no fucking negative ramifications for them replacing you quickly. That's the truth. So these institutions that used to keep women away from doing dumb shit, religion, society, shame, etc., they're gone. They're gone. And they've been replaced with an institution that tells women, you deserve better. You could do no wrong. You go, girl. Do what's right for you. That's what we've replaced the shame society we used to have with. This enabling society. How many times have you guys watched the show? And the girl says something absolutely, oh yeah, I love my man because, you know, he didn't make me feel special. And the girl say, oh, it's okay, girl. Yeah, you know your worth. Rarely do I see women say, what are you doing? So you're telling me that he did everything right, but you didn't feel a connection, so you left? You're stupid. No one ever tells women this anymore. Every decision that they make is considered the right decision. They're never criticized or held accountable for their poor mating choices, ever, in 2025. Why do you guys think arranged marriages were a thing for so long? I'll tell you why. Because of what we have going on now. We have over 50% of women single. Why? Because women absolutely suck when they have to pick their own partner. They do. They absolutely suck. Why? Because when they're in their peak years, 18 to 25, what are they looking for? They're looking for excitement, they're looking for fun, they're looking for the bad boys. Here's the problem. They just be with you and settle down with you and build a family with you. So what ends up happening is they follow the Sheryl Sandberg doctrine that I told you guys before, ride the cock carousel in their prime years for a decade plus. Then when they're used up, used and abused, 30, 40, 50 bodies. They got a college degree maybe and some education. They got an entry-level job making 50 to 100K a year, whatever. Probably more likely 30 to 70 entry-level. Right? And they think, okay, I'm ready for a man now. I want a top-tier guy, make 70K per year, so I need you to make 120K. No. That kind of money. I have to bust their ass to make that kind of money. And then on top of that, they want a hotter, younger girl. That's not a... So this woman effectively gambled for 10, 15 years, rode the cock carousel, and thinks that she's going to get saved at the end, and it never happens. They always fail. That's why over 50% of women are not in a relationship.